Hello class, my name is Philip Lupardis and I'm going over today how to create a dimensional model. When creating a dimensional model, PlayStation was chosen as a presentation example when it comes to setting up the management of the company's data and creating a dimensional model for the company. The best model is created when it is a collaborative effort and must include database administrators and ETL representatives from the company. Also include executives and managers during the design process so that they can get a better understanding how the new dimension model will help modernize their database analytics and reporting for the company. During this time, the team needs to implement a bus matrix as well. It is a matrix of business processes and standard dimensions is used as a tool for designing and managing data models. This matrix would help along the design process, and it can be broken down to each individual department so that we can see each of the department's processes. The good thing about a matrix, it gives the team the ability to see the bigger picture, and it shows how each department uses the dimensions. This should be updated throughout the design process. PlayStation has 24 departments and business processes need to be created for each department to define specific design target and allows the grain, dimensions, and facts to be declared. By defining the business process for each department, we get a better understanding of the grade, dimensions, and facts that are required to order to run each department. During the initial process, the database team needs to come together to better understand what is to be expected and determine the business process of each department. By determining the grain, it helps determine the required dimensions for each business process. When defining the grain in a company like PlayStation, we have to keep in mind that some of the department's business processes have multiple grains that need to be added in order to gain an accurate measurement. When determining the grain, the team needs to use an agile bottom-up approach, which focuses on single business processes at a time. This allows it to be more thorough and is recommended due to how many grains need to be determined for each of the business processes in the 24 departments. When identifying dimensions, it is best to use a high-level model diagram. In this example below, the grain is in the center while all the dimensions that connect to the grain surround it. This diagram gives a clear view of each of the surrounding dimensions and also makes it easier to understand, track, and maintain each grain and its surrounding dimensions. Dimension tables contains the descriptive attributes used by BI applications for filtering and grouping the facts. This is where the team goes over the grain for each business process and determines the required dimensions. OLAP is a category of software that is used to analyze information from multiple data systems at the same time. OLAP has been around since 1975 and is considered to be the industry standard in business intelligence. Analysis frequently need to group, aggregate, and join data. In relational databases, these operations are resource intensive. This allows the OLAP data to be pre-calculated and pre-aggregated, making analysis faster. OLAP Cube is often the final deployment step of dimensional BI systems. The star schema is a widely supported BI tool and is considered to be a simple design when compared to another schema. Best used to create a data mart, which is a subset of data warehouse. Data marts are usually created for different departments within the company. Snowflake schema is an extension of a star schema, and it adds additional dimensions. Dimension tables are normalized, which splits data into additional tables. The main benefit of the Snowflake schema, it uses smaller disk space and it's easier to add dimensions to the schema. Due to multiple table queries, performance is reduced. The Snowflake schema is used when creating data warehouses in order to save disk space. The fact table must all be true and remain to the grain. And once the grain is identified, it crystallizes the discussion about the fact table metrics. The fact table records the measurements by retrieving the required data from the dimensions. Once the design process is done, the design team still needs to continue to track the progress of the project in order to flesh out any design issues with the model through the development cycle. Once the model is completed, it goes through several reviews. IT department, core users, and broad business users need to all review the design so they can get a better understanding of the dimensional model and how the changes affect each user's department when it comes to their business processes. Having all of PlayStation on the same page when it comes to creating a dimensional model is key. Educating broader business users and executives is key so they understand how the dimensional model can benefit the company overall and how the model can be used to answer a broad range of questions about each business process. Thank you for watching, and that is my presentation for how we can apply dimensional design to the PlayStation company.